This morning, maybe most of you don't know who Payfair is. So Payfair is a new payment scheme started in Europe and now spreading to the Middle East and Africa. From our point of view, the global map looks like following. We have the US schemes on one side, we have China, Union Pay, JCB on the other side, but the whole Europe, Middle East and Africa region is not represented with an own scheme. So we strongly believe that there is room for a new player. Additionally, we have seen trends that are now influencing the payment world very much. We have the new entrants like Google, Apple, PayPal coming. We have price pressure due to competition. We have new technology coming in. We have raising fraud. We still think there is no solution for micropayments so far. So there is a lot of challenges that we are facing at the moment. If we look with a special focus on the Middle East and Africa region, we certainly see that there is a lot of mobile distribution in most of the countries. There's a reach of 80% of the population have a mobile phone, but only 20% of the population have a bank account. So there is a strong demand of offering solutions to give unbanked people access to payment solutions. We see a lot of problems arising here, and we see the established schemes taking a long time to offer solutions. I myself have worked for MasterCard for many years, and before I worked for MasterCard, I was in their global advisory committee. And in 2001, I saw the first time a presentation of NFC in a pilot in New York. And then in 2006, I used the same presentation as head of their global key account management. And you wouldn't be surprised that I went to a conference last year and I still saw the presentation of NFC pilot with McDonald's in New York. If you look what happened in the mobile industry over the 10 last years, you see dramatic changes and evolutions where in the payment industry we believe not a lot is happening. And now the question, if you're a mobile operator, you will say, fine for me, because the banks have missed the trend and more mobile operators start to go into the customer relation and offering banking service, and banks are still struggling with offering new technology. So the traditional business model will be a lot under pressure. So we have new payment channels, we need new markets. We still have not addressed the issue of terminal costs. If you look to African, Eastern European markets, most of the retailers are not willing to pay 500-600 euros for a terminal. So if you look around, most small shops don't accept electronic payments. We are seeing trends from QR codes, biometrics, NFC technology, sound identification, all different things, but still everybody at the moment, if you look, is talking about NFC. But when will we have NFC available? Which merchants are willing to implement? Even in high-income markets or Central Europe, merchants have a cycle of 4 years for investments. And they are not willing. Most of them have implemented EMV a year ago. Now they are asked to change the terminals again, and they just will not do it. We see lower fees, and we need growing volumes and transactions. The fraud theme is still a big issue, and Payfair as a solution, we are trying just to avoid any card data to pay. So we have physical card solutions, but most of our solutions are based using the mobile for a payment. The other thing is that the old systems, they have been developed in the 70s, and they have been built for a physical world and for a global market, but they don't take into account local needs. If you go today and you see the Visa, MasterCard rule books or just their fee books, if you have 340 different fee items, I think there is no issuer or acquirer in the world that still understands what he is really paying for. Then the whole micropayments area, we see in all the markets we are looking at only solutions that come from mobile operators. It is not banking solutions that address this issue. So the traditional schemes, as I said, they have old legacy systems. It's not very flexible. They cannot serve different markets. They are global schemes made for global markets, and we don't believe in this one-size-fits-all attitude. There is no flexibility in rules and regulations, and I certainly believe that different markets, different businesses require different rules and regulations, and it's, again, this one-size-fits-all does not work. And domestic schemes in Europe, we have domestic schemes, partly in Africa, Middle East as well, but most of the countries don't have a domestic scheme and are looking for solutions. And for them, it is also not very obvious to use a global scheme for domestic transactions because you pay the prices, the services for a global scheme. And even in the richest countries in the world, you have 98% or more of the transactions being domestic and only 2% being international. And I think that we don't have to aim for these global solutions. When I look to the legacy systems, I always use this example to explain how these things are working. Before I joined Payfair as CEO, I was CEO of First Data in Central Europe, and all the systems, it's MasterCard, Visa, First Data, all the legacy systems were built in the 70s. And this is my Golf here from the 70s. Now I have the 2011 model with airbag and all this functionality. And what we are really trying to do, we are implementing the airbag in the 1970 model. It works, we can do it. But if you look to the costs, if you look to the time it takes, it is just all taking too long. And one example of my time with First Data, there was an acquirer coming and saying, we need a new interface into the Swiss market. And I asked my development team, and they came up and say, yeah, it's 1,800 man days we need to develop this interface, which is, according to European daily rates, 1.5 million that they asked for. Then I went to one supplier of us who is working in the e-commerce world, and I said, if you develop this interface for me, how much is it? And he said, standard interfaces we sell for 35,000 euros, and if it's a real complicated one, it's 50,000 euros. So if you compare this with our internal cost, you cannot use the old legacy systems and implement new solutions on them. It is too costly, it takes too much time, and a lot of people don't even know what the influence on the back office side will be if you change things in the system, because the people that have developed it are sometimes already retired and nobody understands what the system is really about. So we strongly believe that payments will move from the cards to the mobile. So it's more and more people will use their mobile as the interactive device between their bank and their payments, and maybe they don't even need a bank anymore. I have a 7-year-old daughter. She has no clue about money, but she exactly knows how to handle an iPhone. She downloads apps, she does all of this. Once she will be 13, will she have a bank account? When I was a small boy, I take my savings every month. I went very proudly to the bank and gave my few cents to the bank. But she hasn't seen a bank branch, and I think she might not see a bank branch until she is 2024, if ever, because her instrument of paying, of having connections to the world is her telephone. And you see this development trend more and more, and also everybody in the industry is preparing for this. We believe in a few years cards will have disappeared, and it will be the mobile phone that handles all payment transactions. So what happens in the industry, the global schemes, they try to protect their position, and they have a lot of money, but at the moment we see very slow things moving. Again, 10 years of NFC discussions and still not there. And now we are talking about biometrics, we are talking about QR codes and other things. So will NFC ever come? Or will we already replace it with the next technology before we have a decent rollout in the market? And then on the other hand, we have the mobile operators coming in more and more performing as banks, trying to set up their own prepaid schemes. In some countries, they go for banking licenses. And from a mobile operator point of view, I had discussions with some of these operators which run physical telephone as well. They say we have hundreds of technicians in the market, we own the cable, we own the infrastructure, why should we have other people doing acquiring, doing the network service providing or whatever it is? We can do everything, and they want to be the owner of the whole value chain from the terminal via acquiring to the issuing. So we are more facing maybe in the future with the mobile operators one or two-party scheme, not the four-party model anymore. So and banks have the choice to either compete with telecom operators or to find a way of working with telecom operators. So our value proposition is addressing banks. So we say there is innovative payment solutions. We have a very transparent business model, which means there is not more than 10 fees that will ever occur in our scheme. We reduce the processing costs, which is very simple with new systems that have just recently been developed. We don't run old legacy systems. And we see for banks the growing competition from non- and near-bank industry. Merchants, we offer them really a secure and convenient acceptance. We can do it with card or with mobile phones. It's a balanced governance. We still have the issue, if you talk to merchants, that they are not happy with the existing schemes because they believe they are paying too much or they don't get adequate services. But PayPal has shown all of us that merchants are very well willing to pay for a service if they believe they get a service. I haven't understood so far what the service is, but it seems people are willing to pay for it. And it must be a fair cost sharing between the different parties in a payment scheme. And we all want improved customer satisfaction and spending. So if the customer feels convenient, he will also spend more money. He's more relaxed in spending. The consumer experience, we say it's the same, ATM, POS, e-commerce. He will use his phone whatever the device or the areas he wants to pay. He will have improved security. He doesn't need to take or use any secret card data. Mass fraud will be completely avoided. And he will have a transparent and fair pricing. And for the mobile operators and new players in the market, we are helping them to manage risk, to get acceptance. If you look to certain markets today, you would see that a merchant has 5 different terminals. For each mobile operator, he has a different acceptance device, which certainly will not work in the future as well. And bringing the mobile really in the center of payments. So our solution is the 6-strong USP. I already explained about the lower scheme fees. We will reduce fraud and risk losses. One thing is we have completely new risk management tools, but on the other hand, without using credit card data, neither in the internet nor in the physical world helps as well. The solution is tailor-made. We don't have one size fits all. All our pricing, all our rules and regulations are built on country, region, and global level. They are never the same. So they can be the same, but they can be adapted to the needs in the different markets. We also say we are completely neutral. We don't care if you want to use a mobile, a card, or other things. We are also completely balanced between banks, mobile operators, and merchants. We will not, in the experience we have made in the past, there's always agreement between the bank and the acquirer on the interchange fee. We don't intervene or interfere in this relation. It is not our business. Then we offer really innovative technology, and I will show you an example in a few moments. We are enabling micropayments with our solutions. So this is our product roadmap where we have come from so far. And I can say everything that we are talking about here is now running in production and use. We are just doing at the moment or we have done a proof of concept installation with the Bank Muscat, where the people will be able now on Bank Muscat terminals to pay with your mobile device via sound identification, which I will show you in a second. So we have addressed different solutions. So Payfair at Internet is our option to pay with your mobile phone in the Internet. Payfair at ATM, we are just running the first operations in Russia, where in Russia you have Yandex, which is the biggest prepaid platform in the country, and you have Beeline, which is a mobile operator. And we have an agreement with the two biggest banks in Russia, where their ATMs have now been changed to accept mobile withdrawal. So what will happen? The prepaid card holder who has no EMV card, is just in a prepaid account somewhere, he will register his mobile with his prepaid provider, with Yandex. He can go to the banks, he will enter his mobile phone number at the ATM. We will route the transaction to the issuer side, to the prepaid account, and see if the money is there. And if the money is there, we will send him a one-time PIN that he can enter in the ATM, and then he can withdraw money from his prepaid account. And we have implemented this solution for one mobile operator, which is Beeline with their prepaid account, and for Yandex, which is the biggest prepaid company in Russia. So convenience, as we say, your mobile is always in your pocket. It's also from a security aspect. We know that a stolen card, in average, according to Visa and MasterCard, takes 7 days to be reported, where a stolen mobile phone takes less than an hour to be reported. So, and we all know this. If I stay on an airport and look for my mobile, I see immediately 15 people around me looking for their mobile as well. So it's a mass phenomenon that we see at the moment. So security, as I said, no card number is used, and we have completely reduced mass fraud. And we believe we are competitive in cost and pricing.
To be 100% sure the payment order is genuine, the Payfair system will immediately call you on your mobile. Answer the call and place your phone near your computer. Your computer will emit a unique encrypted signal. This is then recognized by the system via the communication with your mobile phone. Once this verification process is complete and your payment confirmed, Payfair will send you an automatic
I especially like this moment in the presentation when the Visa transaction is still taking time. So, but what does it tell us? We know that 80% of non-successful transactions in the e-commerce are cancelled during the payment process because people just believe it takes too long, it's too much work, and I'm sure that all of you have made a similar experience cancelling transactions during this process. So. And you have seen this was an example of the sound identification. We do the same with, as I said, with one-time pins, one-time tons, however you call it. With QR codes at the moment, you can do it sending to the screen a QR code signal that you read with your mobile phone. Again, we are completely open to the different areas of playing. I had a meeting with one of the biggest European newspapers lately, where they are now going for electronic shops that sell DVD players, TVs. They will have in the newspaper, together with their advertisement, you have the opportunity of directly reading the QR code and making a payment transaction directly and ordering the thing home instead of going to the shop. If you know, I want this TV, I just read it and then I order it. Or the other thing is you can, with loyalty or getting reductions special, if you have an advertisement in the newspaper, you just read the QR code and you go to the shop and you get a 3% reduction on your payment. So we are saying this is the future. We are offering still card with PIN, PAN, whatever, but we have mobile phone with sound, with secret codes. We are also offering solutions where you pay with your email address and secret code and other. Our idea is to integrate or to offer our customers different channels of payment and the customer the free choice of how he wants to pay in the future. So what is the summary? We are addressing especially the Middle East, Europe, and Central Eastern European markets. We have a footprint now in all regions. We have started operations. We see more and more growing demand from mobile operators talking to us for having wider acceptance. We deliver really state-of-the-art technology and payment solutions. It is completely flexible and you can do this today without a problem. It is just, again, a question of the legal systems and the systems that we are using are all built within the last 3 years. We believe it's highly attractive, and we see it also from the people that come to us and ask if we can discuss and implement our solution. And we will also go on and develop new technologies that are coming ahead. But again, it will not take us a long time for a new product, or if a customer comes and says, we need this. We have typical times of, in Belgium, we were asked to make an offer for replacing paper-based lunch vouchers. And the solution is there. Within 6 months, we achieved 100% of acceptance in the food industry, where people now can pay instead of using old vouchers with a card, and companies can, instead of giving paper vouchers, they can transfer money to prepaid accounts. So with this, I want to close, and our stand is just behind the theater here. So if you have additional questions or want to see more, we are more than happy welcoming you. Thanks for the attention.